We are busy getting back into production, getting everything on track, scheduled, actresses signed. So we do need your continued support. Please fund us on the Patreon website, and we will be back soon. Thanks again. Today is the 2-year anniversary of me filming the Kidnap production. March 2nd, 2016. It was 2 days after I created the channel. Oh man, a lot of stuff has changed since then. Wow. I mean, I always knew this was going to be a success, everything here, but I didn't think it was going to grow as big as it did and as quickly. I was fortunate to get some help from YouTube's system of promoting the video. The entire production, I released it over the course of that following month until from beginning of March to the middle of April. The part 1 of Kidnapped has gotten almost 750,000 views. The full production over 100,000. The second part over 200,000. The gag reel on like 250,000, something like that. So, yeah, there's been a lot of views to it, like 1.5 million total views altogether, something like that. So, it's been pretty popular, like 1,500 likes on the first part, tons of comments. I mean, it's been definitely the most watched video I have by far. So, for the 2-year anniversary here of this production, I thought I'd go ahead and look back on it. We'll go ahead and run through this, maybe do some commentary on it, take a look at it. This video, this is actually what built the brand. I mean, it was doing quite well with advertisements, back before last year when the advertiser boycott happened. It is my public display of work. First thing I ever did filming of any type. I never had any thoughts really of making movies or anything like that. And this, we'll go ahead and take a look through this. I'll run through it. I'm going to skip over a lot of it. I'm not going to do all 17 minutes, obviously, but we'll take a look here. Okay, so we have the Kidnap production. I put this disclaimer up. When I went to do this, the whole point of this was going to be a YouTube series.
And before we entertain you,
you watch
better
this
not
here.
Forget to subscribe.
This is supposed to be like a little intro. I don't know. It just all filmed all this in one day. The whole point of this, like I said, this was going to be a character where there was going to be a production every month made public. I thought we were going to make more money from the ads, so I was going to be able to afford to do it that way. This is before I even knew what Patreon was. You watch here. You watch the bloopers on this. You've seen like that I ran up the one time. It made all kinds of noise. We had to redo it. So I thought I built this up pretty good. And the music there. Notice that the car door is suddenly open now, and it wasn't before.
Help! 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 Please don't! Please don't!
Calm down. Calm down. It's not easy to film when you can't see what it looks like when you're working just by yourself. I thought she did pretty good. I thought her acting was actually not bad at all. Someone had never done anything before.
Please don't, please. Please. My mom's gonna be home soon.
But like I said, we had really no script, no dialogue planned doing this. Look at the little zip ties there. Before I bought some bigger ones.
No, I promise I'll give you anything right now. Please don't hurt me.
You don't have anything. You can't get it.
So she just sat there and made various pleas, and then I just responded with whatever. I actually asked her
Please untie me. It hurts.
one time here, I just out of habit, I asked her like how she was doing, if she was okay, and I had to edit that out. And see, sometimes I look back at the camera. You'll notice I keep looking at the camera. That was just to make sure it was still on, just because I wanted to make sure I was getting what I was filming. You know, with the damn GoPro I was using. And with the GoPro, I was able to suction cup it to the windows in the car. That's how these camera angles are changing like this. No. It's my old Buick. And that is max strength duck brand duct tape. Which, right here, that was it. For the rest of the shoot, that gag went on super sticky and never budged, and she could not talk. Which, let me tell you something, that makes it extremely difficult to work a production with somebody who can't reply, to try and communicate with somebody. I mean, this is why OTM and cleave gags were used, still are used so much, because the person can still really talk. But she could not, at all. And that thing did not budge for 40 minutes. Oh, and here's me, my shirt coming up. Looks terrible. Yeah, it took me way too long to get this going. I should have had this set up better. This could have been filmed better. I thought her acting was actually very good. She played a good DID. No question about it. I don't know why he's hanging around. Not getting out of there faster. So I just drove down the end of the driveway and then drove back. Have her carried here, sat her down. I mean, I wish I would have had the 4K camera and a camera person. Looking back on this part now, this is really where things could have been a lot better. You know, had I... the sound quality down here was bad. Because it was in a basement, the GoPro. But I thought she looked great and did a good job. I probably could have cut her ankles free. I probably should have, looking back on it now. Having her like that, I should have just cut her ankles loose. Would have made it easier to walk her over there. Not look so damn awkward. Set her down and zipped her up on the table. You can't really hear the dialogue too much. Basically, she's supposed to be like a congressman's daughter. And I actually right there didn't have... Here's something funny. I didn't have the character planned. Really like the name of the congressman or whatnot. So I loaded up a list of U.S. Congress people, and we just like started picking names like in between there. And like I was like, "What do you think of this name?" And like we were just bullshitting about it. It was a lot of fun. So I just like picked one right there on the spot. I tried to get some different camera angles. The ransom video right here, I thought was one of the best. I used a different camera of mine for that. I thought she acted really good. Personally.
See this?
She would have been a good character to have back, like for like a side.
You probably want to pay now.
Pellet pistol from my childhood.
I think you get the message. I want it
And
now.
the sound quality was better on this from this camera. And obviously she was supposed to live. Probably should have taken the gag off and let her actually have some lines and then put it back on when we left. If I'd had a better camera, whatnot. I picked her up, carry her out of here, and she was supposed to live. She was supposed to live. You saw the alternate ending. She was supposed to come back, but she disappeared on me. This is a really cool scene here, actually. How I shot this. Okay. You hear that whining noise? What I did was I sat my GoPro down in the back by my old barn and just sat it up, pointed it up at the ceiling, at the sky, right? And I went, I took the part 3, the ransom video part with her whining profusely, and plugged it into like a converter, and I turned it into an audio file. And I just took the audio file of her whining and stuck it in right here, so it's like she's laying on the ground there. But she's not. She wasn't there. Nobody was there. Just me outside, man, looking around, making sure no one was watching me wearing the mask. But, yeah, so that was that. Wow. I mean, it has its flaws. You know, sound quality was bad. Not having a camera person and using the GoPro is obviously the biggest flaw with the whole thing. If I had the 4K camera that I use now, and a camera person, you'd have a lot better visuals. I mean, I could have planned, you know, better visuals. Like I said, had I removed the gag, probably while she was down in the basement, I could have had some better dialogue, maybe some better taunting. Could have actually even re-gagged her in the ransom video. Might have been a little better. Yeah, I mean, I think overall though, you know, for not having any experience for a one-off, one-day thing, it actually turned out pretty well. And you know, it was definitely had its flaws and some things that could certainly be improved on, but it was not too bad. And the fans overwhelmingly have liked it. Like I said, it has like the part 1. I think it's got a like to dislike ratio of 5 to 1. It's like 1,500 likes and 300 dislikes. That ratio is actually very high. If you go around, most of them are around 50-50, similar productions. Most of them are so much more unrealistic. While that one, you know, had a few continuity errors and whatnot, for the most part, it's fairly real looking. And people write stuff in the comments section about it. Well, if that was me, I'd do this, and maybe I'll address that someday. I have a little idea, but I don't know. It was a lot of fun. You know, the original contract I had written up with this girl was not going to work for me. I was actually very fortunate that I never heard from her again. Although I'm sure we could have made some more good stuff. We would have had to have reworked the contract and whatnot. And I mean, I wish her the best. She was fun to work with, very likable. I don't know if she's ever done anything since or tried to continue acting or modeling or anything, but it was fun. But yeah, that's what we got. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. A little celebration of the 2-year filming of that production. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything about the filming, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments section. But I appreciate all the support. Thanks again.